Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cook with me. Well, this is an early morning cooking expedition. It's not even daylight yet. I'm going to be making a slow cooker pot of ham and bean soup. And the reason I'm using the slow cooker is because this soup you can make slow cooker, you can make an instant pot, you can make it on the top of your stove, lots of different varieties you can make. But we have some errands to run, and so I wanted to have it out of the way and cooking while we're doing all of the running around. It's our monthly, maybe, month and a half excursion to Sam's Club, which is about a half hour, 40 minutes away from here. To get the normal toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, all the goodies, But also I need to get some Halloween candy this time. So I'm going to be putting this in the crock pot. What I'm using today is this Hertz 15 bean soup. I don't know how many of you have ever tried it or have heard about it. This is not sponsored. I bought this with my grocery order. Okay, and it really is a big bag of beans of all kinds you can't even imagine. I'll show you what they look like. I soaked them overnight, and it's like they took over the bowl. So this is what I'm using. It comes with just the beans, and then there is a little packet on the inside of it's a ham flavor. Okay, now it has some other ingredients, and when I take it down to the counter I'll show you what those ingredients are. But it's very simple. It's just you put a few things in the crock pot with a lot of liquid, put the top on and let it go on high for probably 7-8 hours. Okay, so give me a second and I'll bring you down to the counter and we'll see what else we're going to put in our ham and bean soup. Back in a minute. Okay, here's the crock pot. Now we are going to be using 1 can of diced tomatoes, but we don't put that in now. We put that in later after the beans have cooked. Acid can slow down the softening of beans, so we want to leave that out for now. I'm going to be using some garlic. Oh, that's not garlic, that's the bouillon. I'm going to be using some bouillon, and I'll be using some garlic, okay? And some chicken broth along with the water to go with the bouillon. So we're going to start by putting the beans in the pot. Wait till you see this. See if I can get them all out of this colander. And you can see there's like every kind of bean you can imagine in here. Now you don't have to use this particular bean mix. I just liked it, so I bought it. But you can certainly use kidney beans, any one of these beans individually. Okay. It is also called for a medium onion chopped. It calls for ham meat or ham bone or ham hocks. I have the coveted ham bone, so I'm going to put that in just a second. Calls for some garlic. Probably finish this up. Okay. Eight cups of liquid. I have 4 cups of water here. And I'm going to put 4 cups of chicken broth. Okay. Now I am going to put in a good serving of this broth paste because of the water. And I'm going to give this a stir around. And that broth paste will just all dissolve in the water as it gets hotter. And the last thing I'm going to add is the coveted ham bone. Now we had ham a couple of weeks ago, and I always save the bones when I do the ham. And there's a lot of meat on here, so I'm going to try to get it buried in here. Oh, that's pretty well buried. Okay. And that's it for now. I'm going to put the cover on. I'm going to set it on high. And it'll be probably 7 to 8 hours before it's done. But we'll come back and we'll add the diced tomatoes and a little bit of lemon juice. And it'll be several hours for me. It'll be just a minute or two for you. So I'll see you in a little bit. Hang in there. Okay, it's been about 7 hours, and I am going to take this ham bone out. Let me move this back a little bit. So you can see a lot of the meat has already fallen off the bone. While I have this open, I'm going to add my diced tomatoes. And my ham packet. If I can get it open. Now I'm just going to cut all this meat up, and I'll be back when I get ready to put it in. Alright, let me just add this in. And I had a bag, I also have a bag from the freezer that I had already cut up before I froze it and labeled it soup. And that's about it. The rest is bones. So there's plenty of ham in here. Now I'm going to put the cover back on, let it come back up to a boil, and then I might just put the cover a little bit askew so that it can reduce a little bit. I think I would like it to reduce just a little. So that's the next step. We'll be back when it's ready to serve. If you hear a noise, my bread machine's going in the background. I'm making Texas Roadhouse rolls to go with it. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call this done. Look at this. Look at the beans and the ham. Now it's early, so I have turned it to low, and after a while I'll turn it to warm, because the longer this sits here, the better the flavor will be. So let me bring you up and I'll give you a taste test. Well, I think I'm in, let me go this way, hold on. I think the light is better here. Okay. That is so good, so tasty. The beans are really soft. They don't need to cook anymore. The ham is delicious. Delicious. That'll keep your belly nice and warm. And it made a big pot, so we'll have some tonight and probably for lunch tomorrow. And then I'll put some in some plastic containers and put them in the freezer. And continue my soup, what do I call it? Collection. I have tomato soup in there, and I have French onion soup in there. Now we'll have ham and bean soup in there. And when I don't feel like cooking, guess what? One of those soups come out, we make a nice sandwich to go along with it. Today, we're going to be using the oyster crackers, soup crackers, and Texas Roadhouse dinner rolls. And I'm going to enjoy every single mouth of it. So please enjoy yourself this afternoon. Have a great evening, morning, night, whatever it is. Get yourself some of these beans. These are the Hearst 15 beans. Like I said, this is not sponsored. And if you have a ham bone, don't ever throw it away. In fact, I often keep the liquid that's in the bottom of the pot from cooking the ham. That can be a little bit salty, but if you've had things like brown sugar and pineapple on the ham, it really isn't that great, because who wants a sweet pineapple soup? But if you didn't, you can throw some of that into the soup too. Soups are so versatile. Lots of things you can make with a ham bone. Ham and split pea soup. I love split pea soup, as long as you don't make it like wallpaper paste. So anyway, tell me some of your soups that you like to make, and maybe we'll make some together. Until I see you again on Wednesday for Craft Day, everybody have a great day and play nice now. Love ya. Bye-bye.